This is me, Paco, and you're watching Bad Witch Books. Guys, so today we're going to be going over my May haul. You'll notice I do not have a lot of books here this month. I am and was on a budget for May and June, so I did not buy a lot. Most of the books I have are from Y'all West, so let's get to it. Okay, so the first book we have is The Last Blood Carver by Vanessa Lee. This is a book about Nakia as the Blood Carver. In the harsh industrial city of Thumes, she is seen as not as a healer as she was meant to be, but a monster that kills for pleasure. And in the city's criminal underbelly, the rarest of monsters are traded for gold. When Nakia is finally caught by the infamous butchers, she is auctioned off to the highest bidder, a mysterious girl garbed in white. But this strange buyer doesn't want to use Nakia as an assassin or a trophy piece. She intends to use Nakia's blood carving to heal the last person who saw her father's killer. As Nakia delves into the investigation amid Dumba's wealthiest and most powerful, all signs point to Ken Volkoshi, an alluring yet entitled physician aide intent on casting her out of his opulent world. But despite his relentless attempts to push her away, something unexpectedly draws Nakia to him. When she discovers Kolshin is not who he claims to be, Nakia must face the greater, more terrifying evil, turning her quest for justice into a fight for her life. Her only chance to survive lies in a terrible choice between the dreadful monster the city fears or risk destroying herself and the future of her kind. Very interested to read this. I know it's like a healing magic, and I think it's Vietnamese inspired, but I could be wrong, but I'm very intrigued to get into this. Next book I have is The Ruined, which is the final book by Renee Ahdieh in the beautiful saga. So I won't go into the details of what this book is about, but I'm very intrigued to get into it, to knock out the series. The next book I have, I did not get at Y'all West, so we're going to talk about a different one. The last book I got at Y'all West was The Infinity Alchemist by Kaysen Galinder. I think it's a dark academia book. Only an elite few are permitted to study the science of magic, but when Ash is rejected by Lancaster College of Alchemical Science, he takes his job as the school's groundkeeper instead. Forced to learn alchemy in secret when he discovers by the condescending and brilliant apprentice Ramsey Thorne, Ash is sure he is about to be arrested, but instead of calling the authorities, Ramsey surprises Ash by making him an officer. Ramsey will keep Ash's secret if he helps her find the legendary Book of Source, a sacred text that gives its reader extraordinary power. As Ash and Ramsey work together and their feelings for each other grow, Ash discovers their mission is more dangerous than he imagined, putting them against influential and powerful alchemists. Ash's estranged father, included. Ash's journey takes him through the cities and wilds of New Angelia, forcing him to discover his own definition of true power and how far he and the other alchemists will go to seize it. Featuring trans, queer, and polyamorous characters of color, Infinity Alchemist is for the beginning of a powerful fantasy adventure from the extraordinary author of Felix Ever After, Kingdom of Dragonflight, Queen of the Conquered, and more. I'm very excited to get into this. It's the author that I've been wanting to read. I just haven't started any of these authors' work, so when I eventually read it, I am excited to get into it. Next book. Okay, so those are all the books I got at Y'all West. So the next book I bought because it's been on my radar forever, and also it is Princess's Book Club for September. So that is Blood at the Root. What I know about this book, it is a magic HBCU, so very excited to get to that. Look at this cover, we love it. 10 years ago, Micah's life has changed forever the night his mother's mysteriously vanished, and he discovers that he has uncontrollable power. Since then, he has kept his abilities hidden, looking out for himself and his younger foster brother, Tay. Now at 17, Micah is becoming finally ready to start a new life for both of them, far from trauma of the past. However, a daring act to rescue Tay reveals an unexpected connection with his long-lost grandmother, a legendary conjurer with ties to the hidden magical university that Micah's mother attends. So I'm very excited to get into this. So the next book we have is The Honey Witch by Sheldy J. Sheldis. I believe is her name. So, The Honey Witch is a curse that never finds true love, but when she meets a young woman who does believe in magic, she dares to hope for more. Marigold Claude has always preferred the company of the meadow spirits to the suitors who have tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the tiny isle of Infree with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But when her newfound magic on independence comes with a price, no one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. When Lottie Burke, a mysteriously grumpy skeptic, shows up on her doorstep, and Marigold can't help resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. Very excited. I've heard this is compared to like Howl's Moving Castle, but like queer, and I am very excited to get into this. I'm supposed to be buddy reading this month. And then the next book I have is The Evocation by F.C. Gibson. I have actually read this already, and I high-key enjoyed this. This book follows The devil knows your name, David Ashgrove. As a teen, David Ashgrove was a psychic prodigy operating under the shadow of his oppressive occultist father. Now, years after his father's death, in a rapidly approaching his 30th birthday, he is content with the high-powered life he is curated as a Boston attorney. Moonlighting is a powerful medium for his secret society. But with power comes a price, and the devil has come to collect on an ancestral deal. David's days are numbered, and death looms at his door. Reluctantly, he reaches out to the only person he ever trusted, his ex-boyfriend, and the secret society rival, Reese, for help. However, the only way to get to Reese is through his wife, Moira. Thrust into each other's care emotional core. Once buried deep surface, and the trio race to fight out the feelings for one another before the devil steals David away for good. The first book in the Summoner's Circle is a spellbinding, vibrant new series from Sunday Times bestselling author of A Dowry of Blood. I love this book. I ate it up. 5 stars. I'm very excited to continue the series. Like, S.E. Gibson is becoming a favorite author. Like, she is probably the author of the year for me this year. I have one more book to read for her, and then I will know. So the last book I've got, so I did not get a Fairy Loot YA book this month because of funds, because I had to skip. But I did get their Romantasy books, so I finally got onto the Romantasy list. So I got my first of the Romantasy, this is like their second box, but I got the first edition, and the second month, but basically the first one I got. A Curse of Blood and Wolves by Melissa McTreen. I believe this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling. Look at the cover. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Can you be drawn to someone you've never met? When Ruby feels the eyes of a stranger in the woods, she knows she should be scared and that she should run away, but she can't. Instead, she feels the thrill, feels drawn to the stranger who follows her into the woods, yearns for his eyes on her every night as she walks home, hoping the crunch of leaves under his feet that their signal that he's there. Will he ever reveal himself? A steamy reimagining of Little Red Riding Hood. And we love character art. What am I a hoe for? Character art. So, very gorgeous indeed. Excited to get into this. Maybe like fall time. But those are all the books I got this month in May. What did you guys get? And I will chat with you next time. Bye.